Barbara, it's actually felt not terrible outside, even though it's 46, because the sun is shining and it's such a beautiful day. I'm tempted to go out, but I don't think I will. I will go out later, though, for sure. Good morning, it's Barbara. Thank you for joining me for coffee. It is a bright sunny day out, and I did go out to give the dogs their treat. Maisie is already out laying in the sun, so she didn't get her treat this morning with our tea ritual, and so I went outside and delivered it. But it is very nice outside. It's supposed to be in the high 50s maybe today, so we're starting to warm up a little bit. It's been pretty chilly, so I was, I hadn't been looking at my comments from my video yesterday until this morning when I was making my coffee, and I got some advice that I thought was good advice to that it probably isn't a good idea for Aura to get her shingle shot today, since she just had the injection of the radiation. And Danielle said that she, her doctor suggested getting the booster first and then waiting quite a while before the shingle shot. And to be honest, when I filled out the forms to schedule the appointment for the shingle shot, one of the questions was, have you had a vaccination in the last 4 weeks? Now, the reason this is all relevant, first of all, we should have probably called Aura's doctor to ask if she can have a shingle shot right after getting this injection. Although they said it would be out of her system by yesterday. But the thing is that we are going to get boosters in about 2 weeks. Both my sister and Dennis's sister are flying in to visit the third week of May. And second week of May. And we want to get our boosters about 2 weeks before they come, so that our boosters are in full protection mode when these germ-bearing people who go on airplanes are going to be here. Oh, and now they've taken off the mask mandate on planes in the United States. So I don't know how that's going to work. So anyway, I called Aura today, and I told her the advice I had been given, and I told her my niggling concern, which I had at the back of my mind when they had that 4-week question. And since the shingle shot is not urgent, it's just something we feel like we should have, that we decided to postpone our shingle shot until after our company visits. And we're boosted. So, thank you for your advice and your information and your stories. I appreciate it so much. And I can take good advice. I can take, be honest, I sometimes take bad advice. But I appreciate your advice. And since there's no urgency, it was just we had it on our mind and I did it. We've decided not to go today, and we're not getting our shot, even though I'm dressed for getting a shot. Because this all happened in the last hour. But I called Aura, and she was perfectly happy to not get it today. She says, oh, that means I don't have to get dressed. And I said, that's right. That's exactly what it means. I won't see you today. I'll see you tomorrow. So change of plan. I don't have anything planned for today except sitting out on my deck, and I fully expect to be picking sticks because it is getting beautiful outside and the grass is growing like crazy. So Dennis is probably going to go see if he can start up the mower and start our spring summer routines. But we did pick sticks in the backyard. We'll do another once over in the backyard to make sure that he can mow the back. And then we have a ton of sticks in the front, so that it's sticks in the front. I did not take sticks off my list, even though we picked sticks. Oh, I can cross out do taxes though. But the other thing left is the podcast. Oh, maybe I'll do my podcast today. I'll do my podcast today. It's been on my list for a while, but things have been, lining up against it for one reason or another. So, that's what I'll do my podcast today. Yeah. I'll pick sticks and lollygag, and then I'll do my podcast. I'll make some more notes. I did start my notes on my podcast. So you heard my dilemma and watched me in real time. This is how my mind works. Yesterday, realized that Juanita's yarn was not going to work for this beautiful elm leaves shawl. It really is lovely, isn't it? But, then I had this yarn that I was like, I really want to use the yarn because, hello. And I got a message from Megan. I don't know what I would do without you guys. I really don't. I got a message from Megan, and she sent me a link to the Along the Edge cowl, which is a DK cowl. Isn't that pretty? By Keeling Kinnersley Design. K-E-L-E-N-E. Keeling. So I bought it. And I started it. Isn't this beautiful? Oh, there you go. So I started it. Ha ha ha. And I'm so tickled with it. Megan said she's made a couple of these, that it's their favorite. She made one for herself and one for Malcolm. And it's their favorites, and they're so warm. She's coming into winter too, so talking about making another one. Didn't this yarn knit up so beautifully? I'm so excited. Thank you, Juanita, for the yarn. Thank you, Megan, for the suggestion. So that's what I did last night. I decided I'm gonna do this. I don't know, is it weird? Now I'm just thinking I gotta go upstairs and pick a I just love that. I pick a yarn for this. How many things can I start? How many things can I start? I don't even know. I'm just trying to figure out. This looks like it has garter ridges. I haven't got to the garter ridges yet. So yeah, okay. Anyway, that's what I started last night. The Along the Edge cowl, and I'm so tickled with it, and it's gonna be beautiful in this pink. And of course the pink is making me happy. Pink is making me happy. So that's what happened last night. The other thing that happened last night was I was rummaging around out on BritBox, and I found The Duchess of Duke Street. This is a very old show. Oh my gosh, I can't even... 30 years? 40 years, maybe. could have been in the 70s. 50 years? Nah. Anyway, it was on Masterpiece Theater. I remember watching it with, I'm sure I watched it with my mother, but now I say that I'm not sure, but it was the late 70s, early 80s, I think. Anyway, it's based on the true story of a woman who ran a hotel, who was a famous cook and ran a hotel in London in the early 1900s. In fact, the Duchess of Duke Street starts in 1900, and she's already a young woman going off to be an assistant cook in a fancy house. And so sort of in the second episode, Queen Victoria dies. I'm going to look up when Queen Victoria died. So that sets the area of, so it's the Victorian era, and King Edward, you know, comes next, her son. Anyway, it's one of my favorite of the Masterpiece Theater series. I own it in VHS tapes. But I don't have any VHS player anymore. So that's how much I like it. Anyway, I found it and I started watching it again last night. And so I knit on that beautiful yarn in that beautiful pattern and watched the Duchess of Duke Street and enjoyed myself immensely. So I had a very lovely evening. I had been on BritBox, I had been, you know, clicking on the mysteries category and going through all the mysteries. And I'm like, oh, let me look at the drama. And there it was. I was so excited. So I expect I will spend some of my day knitting and watching more of the Duchess of Duke Street. I don't know how many episodes there are, but there are quite a few. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there were 20. So, anyway. Gemma Jones plays Louisa Trotter. Gemma Jones. The only other thing I know of that I can remember that she was in the Emma Thompson version of Sense and Sensibility. Emma Thompson and who is that famous young actress? They're the sisters. Sense and Sensibility is about two sisters, and their father dies and their brother inherits everything, and then they turn out to be really poor. Alan Rickman is in that version. He's great in that. But anyway, Emma Thompson plays the older of the sisters, and Gemma Jones plays their mother in that movie. It's the only other thing I can think of that I've seen her in that I can remember. But now it's gonna drive me crazy who that other actress is. She's very famous. So that was my day. Ooh, and I feel like I have a day off since I don't have to, you know, I am already dressed. I have to get dressed every morning for you guys anyway. But no plan to leave the house. So I'm gonna work on the podcast because I really would like to get the podcast done. I need to pick the April prize, even though, what is it, the 20th or some ridiculous date by now? The April prize for the Ode to Joy make-along. I haven't shown you guys one because I haven't picked it yet. Could be April, turns out to be another pattern month. Is that, you know, I don't know, a cop-out. I'll just give away patterns and I don't have to think about it. Well, and it is a good way to find new patterns that you like because, you know, if you give somebody a pattern prize and they pick something, it's because they really like it and they want it. And there you go. Oh, and if I do my podcast today, then the other thing I could do today is fix my mistake on my Lunam sweater because I've put that down till I can tear back the one side past that line of mistake. And and in my mind, I thought I would do that after I did the podcast so I could show the mistake and talk about it, content. Oh, speaking of content. Well, anyway, speaking of content, last night Dennis says, are you going to take a picture of that? Content. He's always thinking about you guys and how boring I am and what you might need, for a little change of pace. So anyway, I think I'm going to do my podcast, and then maybe tonight I will tear back that half of the sweater and start reknitting that one side till it gets back up to the same size as, so that they're even again, and then I can put them both, because I'm knitting it 2 at a time, and I hate to, that's partly why I hesitated, because, once you're not doing it 2 at a time, then you have to think about it more. And this whole section that I'm taking out is all where the increases were. I think it's lucky that the one that I messed up is the one where I had put the stitch markers to mark the increases. So that's good. So I know exactly where I am, and it should be easy to figure out how to get back there pretty easily. So anyway, whatever, I'm rambling. So yeah, okay. It's a bright sunny day. Oh, I could do the podcast outside. I bet I could. I bet it'd be comfortable enough. Because I have my sweet little nothing to show. That's my only finished object. And I could just wear it and it would be perfect. So maybe that's the plan. You'll see, maybe. But if it doesn't go up today, it doesn't necessarily mean that I didn't do it. It just could mean that I didn't get it edited. We'll see. I'll tell you all about it tomorrow. We have rehab tomorrow, so today would be a good day. Well, being back like that makes me look like I'm a flathead. Anyway, I will show you the content that I recorded for you last night. It's only a little thing. And I will say goodbye. Please take good care of yourselves. Please stay safe and stay sane. I just noticed this and I wanted to show it to you. Actually, it was Dennis's idea. Take a picture of that. It's content. This is the flower. I was trying to see the name of the flower. This is the flower with beautiful red flowers on it that I love. And it is called a Diplodenia here. Diplodenia. And it had the brilliant red flowers that I love so much that sat behind me all summer last summer. And look what it's doing. Who knew? I was trimming the long scraggly things when it was outside, and I've just been ignoring it pretty much. And look, it's climbing and twirling on itself. It's amazing. So I think I'm going to be better about watering it. And pretty soon it's going to go outside and see where it'll climb. I'm excited.